And to think that kids are worried about this stuff, it's just ridiculous. It's like, anyway.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dave.
no, that's good. Hi, you're on the radio.
Hi, this is Joey Ford, the dad in question.
Oh, hi, Joey. How are you?
I'm doing well today. How are you doing today?
Very
Thank
good.
you for covering this on your program.
Well, listen, I want you to be able to say what you want to say. Let's talk about it a little bit, but I just want to remind you you're on the radio, so I don't want you to divulge stuff that you might not want out in everything, you know?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so in regards to the diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff.
Yeah, what was that about?
The issue is really that the school is putting itself at risk to lose federal funding, which is a large portion of what my son, who has Down syndrome and is nonverbal and currently doesn't have a teacher, would be unable to, make use of. And it wouldn't just hurt my son; it would hurt everybody in the district if the school is making silly choices that go directly against these executive orders.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what DEI has to do with your situation. Could you explain that to me?
So the job listings that were posted in response to the mass exodus of teachers leaving, Mr. Geddes mentioned that my son's teacher is no longer there, but he didn't mention that there are 3 other ones that left within a month of that one. Or altogether, there were 4 special needs teachers who left. And to find these, they had to put up job postings. And in these job postings, they have DEI statements in the listings themselves. And if President Trump or Doge ever finds wind of, what's going on, they will pull federal funding.
Did you vote for President Trump this last time?
I'm sorry?
Did you vote for President Trump this last time?
I didn't vote this season.
Oh, you didn't vote?
I don't like any of the candidates, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So you just didn't vote.
Correct.
Okay. So what does DEI have to do with your son getting what he deserves, which is proper education? Tell me what DEI has to do with that.
The issue with the DEI is not the substance of the program itself. The issue is that federal funding will be pulled if they continue.
No, it won't.
Well, that's your interpretation.
Well, no. There's laws, sir. There are laws that Mr. Trump cannot overrun. There are laws. He can talk all he wants and rattle a saber all he wants, but we're going to protect our children, yours and particularly, by the way, in this conversation. We're going to protect our children to make sure they get every possible help they can. And for you to drag in the DEI thing is counterproductive for you and your son, because it's got nothing to do with your son getting proper education.
I disagree entirely.
Okay,
because again, they're risking federal funding. And
no, they're not risking. You keep saying that, sir, but it's not true.
I appreciate it if you don't cut me off.
No, it's just not true. I'm gonna stop you if you say a lie on my air.
You're not letting me finish.
The first part was a lie enough. What'd you say?
It's very rude of a host.
I think I know what to do as a host, sir. I'm glad you're on the air, and I'm glad you're talking, but I'm telling you that your jumping this DEI thing makes you look foolish.
I'm not jumping any DEI things, sir. I'm just pointing out the misrepresentation.
And how does it help your son? How does it help your son?
Move the topic over to the mass exodus of teachers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so why did 4 special needs teachers have to leave? We know that one of them slapped up 2 autistic nonverbal children and was arrested. And then within a month, 3 more left. Why? Were they silenced? Did something else happen to another child? What are we not being told? Because in my public records request...
Well, let's find out. Mr. Geddes, what is he not being told? What did you not tell him?
So as he's in his public records requests, the responses have indicated that those are part of personnel records, which are personal to the employees and the district. So we can't discuss exactly why each educator left. So I think I can say that there are plenty of reasons why someone leaves a job. One person may resign because they have been informed that they will be terminated, which very publicly was the case of the teacher Mr. Ford is referencing. It could be that
they got a better gig someplace.
They got a job closer to home.
Yeah.
They got a higher paying job in another district. It could be that this was their first teaching job and in special education, and it didn't work for them. But I think we've got gosh, how many hundreds of special educators?
Over
in
300.
Attleboro? So I don't think 4 is really could be considered a mass exodus.
Especially when they're
It
not
does
being.
when 3 come out of one school all of a sudden. I mean, there's something going on there. And
And-
what you
and-
guys have cited in the public records response is FERPA, F-E-R-P-A, which does not apply to the teacher resignations. And we can go back and forth on this all day. I am very well aware of what you guys are required to respond to. And hiding behind these unfortunately misrepresented uses of protections for students and their families is not going to suffice ultimately.
Well, how are they doing that,
Supervisor
sir?
of Public Records.
How are they doing that,
continually
sir?
Rolling in my favor.
I'm going to try it again. How are they doing that, sir?
How are they doing what?
Well, what you just said. You said they're protecting these people unlawfully. How did they do that?
Well, they're citing things such as FERPA, which does not really even have to do with personnel. That has to do with student privacy and family privacy.
Well, isn't
It
your
has
son a
nothing to do
student?
with-
Your son's a student, right?
Yes, he is a student with
Yeah,
Down
so-
syndrome, autism.
I know.
Cannot
Well,
speak, comes
listen.
home and
Let-
poopy diapers and peed through to his
Yeah.
socks.
And
You
what's
find
your?
that
I'm sorry. What's your first name?
My name's Joey.
All right, Joey. Listen to me for a second, okay?
I've been listening.
I don't know anything about this incident. I don't know anything about the facts aside
Well, if
from
you'd
what.
like to find out more, go ahead and go
And
back
if you'd
to
like
the
to, and if you'd like to hear what I'm going to
hear all of my
say,
speeches.
you
I
can
laid it
you
out
can
very
be you can
clearly
be,
for everybody.
and if you'd like to back up a second and hear me, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I have a granddaughter who's autistic. We have dealt with this for many years. And here's my problem with your calling in today. Not with your calling in, but with what you said. Your job as a parent is to do what I feel you are trying to do, which is to get the very best treatment for your son and education.
I'm asking for the bare minimum. He needs a teacher. He hasn't had a teacher
any minute now,
since
sir. I'm going to
December
finish
24th,
I'm going to
2024.
finish what I have to say. I've just said to you that I totally support your attempts to get what's best for your son. What I am going to tell you is that bringing up this DEI thing, which is baloney, and it takes away from you being taken seriously, and takes away from your son being able to get the kind of help he needs, because you end up showing yourself to be a nutburger instead of what I think you are, which is a parent who is dedicated to getting what's right for his child. There's
So
no
is that
doubt
what
in
you're
my
gonna hold
mind.
This on is the one claim out of the 11.
You don't. Well, you also
One
throw, sir. You also talked about how federal funding is going to be cut, and that's
It will
baloney.
be
It's
if
not going to
President
happen.
Trump gets wind of this. Absolutely.
First, you'd have to
He
explain to
stated
him what
very clearly,
autism
whether
is.
it's legal or
You'd have
not.
to explain to
He can
Trump
still
what
go through
autism
it, and
is,
everyone
sir.
will suffer
You'd have
when
to
it gets
explain to
resolved in
Trump
court.
how to spell autism. He has no idea. He may suffer it from himself. I don't know.
Sir, it seems like you think I'm some sort of Trump guy. I'm not. I'm just pointing out what people have said and the risk of the district is willingly putting itself into.
Well, what kind of Trump guy
not
are you?
Understanding that?
What kind of Trump guy are you?
I am not a Trump guy. I'm a guy for my frigging kids.
Absolutely. So I'm saying to you, I absolutely believe you. But I'm
I have
saying
not
to you,
touched the DEI thing
and I'm
whatsoever,
but here's the problem. It was in the paper. I heard about it. Other people have heard about
You know
it,
what else is
and
in the paper?
and it takes
How
away.
Superman can't save us.
and
How
it takes
Trump is
away-
Lex Luthor.
and
One
it
day
takes
after I
away-
brought forth my
Yeah,
issues
yeah, this
about
is-
school,
so this
why
isn't
are
about your
people
child,
using
right?
their power of authority to press in the Sun
Yeah.
Chronicle.
So this isn't
the
about your
issues,
child,
to
right?
Put out a call to action to recruit special needs.
So it's
teachers.
not about your child, right? It's about.
Of course it is. It's about my child.
Well, what do
and
you
every
care-
other child
what do
in
you
this
care what a
district,
school
because it's
committee
not
member
my child that
writes?
only resides in that classroom, sir. There are 12 kids in that classroom, some of them with even larger needs than mine. And guess what? They're being just as sinned against as mine.
And you're dropping the ball when you pull this crap in from
Well, that's your
DEI.
opinion, sir.
You're damn right I am.
One
I'm
out of
telling
11
you.
or 12 claims that I have made.
Listen,
And I
that's
only
fine.
pointed
You
it out
see the one
because
that got.
the district is risking.
Now listen to me.
It's
Think about it a
federal funding,
second.
which hurts everybody. And you guys keep complaining about how there's not enough money for the teachers. Oh, we pay our administrators $190,000 a year on average, but we can't afford things. You know.
All of that's fine, sir. Again, you're not speaking to the issue I'm talking about.
No, you keep going back to the DEI.
Because what got published?
DEI, sir.
Because, well, I am.
Within the
I'm
district.
talking about DEI because
issues are within
that
the
was what
district,
jumped
sir.
out at me.
You know what's interesting, too, in my public records request, there's a lot of things that the district came back and said that they don't have any records of. A lot of these things have to do with when there are issues like the one that my son's going through with no teacher. There's no communications about there being a shortage. There's no communications between the administration and the teachers about burnout.
Okay.
There's no communication about any of the things that would be done in the normal district when these situations arise.
And I'm going to tell you that what you just said to me, they are absolutely valid complaints, and you should have the opportunity to address them. All I'm saying to you is, when you stop popping in this foolish Trump DEI threat
Going
stuff,
right back to that
yes,
one thing.
because
Again, I keep
it stops
explaining
you
this.
from
It
getting
is not
anybody
about any
to
type
think
of
you got a
agreement
clue.
in what Trump is saying. It is simply that Trump does hold the power to create change right now, and we don't want him changing this because it hurts everybody.
It's not.
especially
He's not
the
going to
administrator's
change it,
pockets.
sir. Talk about what your son needs, and don't worry about politics because that's not what your son needs.
Yeah,
Your
let's
son
not worry
needs.
about politics, sir. Let's talk about the issue at hand, which is the school.
So the
One in Attleboro that
Hold on,
we're
hold on,
talking
hold on.
about, and you
Yeah.
keep going back to Trump.
Mr. Ford, first of all, let me say I agree with what Dave is saying, that you're approaching this as a legitimately concerned parent. And we've heard from some legitimately concerned parents in our public forums over the last 6 weeks. We have never claimed that the vacancy in your son's school continues to be vacant as a result of funding. We have not had a qualified candidate apply for the job and be hired for the position yet. The 3 other positions that you mentioned, one I believe was filled by I think we talked about this at one of our meetings at the end of February, beginning of March. One of those positions was filled internally within a few weeks by a general education teacher that happened to also have a special education license. The other 2 positions, one was in the final stages of a hire, and the other, I think, was in the early stages of the interview process.
I'm so glad that you just said that you guys moved around people internally that had the correct licensure, because I've also given you guys a path on how to do this to resolve my son's classroom. Shannon Stevens, the IEP chair for him, also holds the correct licenses. However, you would have to pull her out of administration and put her into the classroom. You guys have completely ignored my request for this, even though you know it's valid.
But it's not something that can just happen. There are collective bargaining agreements and individual contracts at play
Yes,
where an
you
employee
are already violating by putting paraprofessionals in the roles that they're not qualified to do so. I've looked very thoroughly through all of these contracts.
then you would know that the contract is one thing, but the paraprofessional that has been in that classroom working in this program for close to, if not more than 20 years, has been given a temporary license as the special education teacher for the remainder of the school year by the Department of Education.
First time I've heard of this.
It's been shared a couple of times.
Yeah, because you're having arguments about DEI instead of paying attention to this
Right
one.
back to the DEI.
That's
called
right.
Trump derangement syndrome. I'm not even a Trump guy, and I can see it.
Yeah, well, that's okay, sir. You know, I'm giving you all the time I think you certainly deserve to fight for your child. I'm just trying to say to you that if you're backing your car out and you're about to back over a baby carriage, should I stop you and say, wait a minute?
Of course you should.
Okay, and that's what I'm trying to tell you about this argument. You should
That baby
delete
was
it
the
from
federal
this
funding,
argument.
sir, and you're trying to back right up over it. And I'm telling you it's there, and you're like, no, it's Trump. Oh, my God.
I didn't say it was Trump. You said it was Trump. You said it was Trump. You said Trump's going to run off with funding. That's not
Executive order
true.
has said so. He's told you what
Well,
the
I don't
plan
care. Oh,
is.
there's a lot. You want me to give you a list of
Why
stuff
would we
Trump
risk
said?
that instead of just taking out the paragraph?
Yeah, and let me give you a list of what Trump has said.
There are already
Listen,
laws that
all right.
protect
Let me do this. Let me do this.
Discrimination, sir.
Let me do-
Respectfully,
We have to add in all of these things that are just begging for him to come and take
Yeah.
the money.
All right, let me give you a chance. Please say your last statement because I've got to move on, but I want you to say whatever you want to say without challenge. Go ahead.
Sure. I think that the Attleboro Public Schools is doing everything they can to fight me and cover its own ass instead of actually doing what it can to provide what they need for my child. They completely stopped with all settlement offers with me. They are not trying to get him into a proper school that can take care of what he needs, especially given the ongoing issues. It is unfair to him. It is unfair to every single parent in this district, and I can't wait until all the truth is revealed.